I think the live stream is on. Yep, I can see the green light going on, and I feel good about it. As always, it's a lag, so I do have to wait 30 seconds until I can actually confirm that we are up and running. We do have had some issues with this in the past. I think I've done a couple of live streams where it actually didn't record any, and I was too naive to actually check. But we learn through experience. Indeed we do. Indeed we do. At least if we choose to. And I sure as heck choose to do that. Stream now. Can I see an image? Oh, Simon! Are you here? My dear friend Simon, are you here? Happy New Year if you are. Man, I've missed you. Watching. I think Simon is here. Simon is my dear friend, which I lived with in Taiwan for, was it 5 months? Woo. Yeah, he is. Hey man, how are you? Man, I miss you. This guy is just hilarious. He's as funny as I am. I mean, who could beat that? Together we are just the of laughter. The couch is ready to welcome you as in France now. Whew. Yeah, a visit to France would have been nice. But I just had a week off work, so I don't think that's gonna happen. And to be frank, I actually want to go to Russia right now. What does that mean? Well, I will tell you. First, let's just set the context. It's the weekly live evaluation, Friday, 12ish Stockholm time as always. It's the event where I go through the week, the challenge I put up, I share insights and reflections and just go nuts. Usually it's a mess, I'm all over the place. I'm always kind of having this structured plan, but in the end I always follow my gut feeling, and my gut feeling, it's a bit undecisive, so it goes all over the place. We'll see where we will end up today, but I'm having that gut feeling that we will be all over the place today as well. I'm gonna try to keep it short and consistent. Girls, Simon is asking. Yeah, maybe I'm gonna start off with telling my little girl story, what has been kind of my focus of the week. I'm actually kind of in love right now. That's not true, perhaps. Da. Simon asked if I speak Russian, and I have learned da and niet. Yeah, I will get to that. I'm apparently a very good Russian pronunciator. A Russian girl actually told me I should be a Russian interpreter. Huh? How about that, Simon? I found my language finally. But so yeah, let's just start off setting the context. The weekly challenge has been to define my why, like the purpose for what I'm all about, how I should direct my life, the actions I should take should always align with my purpose in life, like doing this kind of thing. And I have been reading a book. It's called Finding Your Why, co-written by Simon Sinek, a big guy on this topic. I'll get more into the details later, but that has been the challenge. Like, yeah, find a why statement that defines what I do here on this planet. Kind of a big deal. And well, that was the outer challenge. Also, I've been working on implementing my New Year's goals, which looks like habits I put up for 30 days, and then I reevaluate, see if I'm going to continue with them or not. If they're actually giving me the result I want to take me towards my goals. So I've been implementing a whole lot of habits. Also, I've been high on love. Okay, let's get into this story. Me and my friend Christopher, we were out shooting this weekend, trying to get some material for a trailer. I think I'm gonna cut together some footage from this week, actually today too. But so I did some random things. I approached a girl. I did some public push-ups and stuff like that. Okay, I'm just gonna say goodbye to Simon. Stop. No, I have to finish my sentence here. So that ended up with me and Christopher being at a fika place, sitting down, having coffee, and there was a nice girl sitting next to me. I'm gonna hold you on that one. It was a Russian girl, and I will tell you what that will be about in a few seconds. I just have to address my dear friend Simon here. Okay, stop trolling, just missing you. I am too busy to follow your stream. F you, Simon. Prioritize your friends, god damn it. But I'm considering that. How about a big trip with your old pal in somewhere someday for like months? Someday for like, I don't understand. Big trip with your old pal in somewhere someday for like, yeah, that sounds nice. Big trip, maybe to Moscow. Moscow. Yeah, we'll have to talk more in details about that, but a nice trip together, whether it's months or weeks. I'd like to do that. If you're leaving, Simon, great talking to you again. We'll have to get more. We have to have a closer talk soon. We'll fix that. Now I have to focus on this. If you're not gonna be here, have an awesome day. See you. Bye. Let's get back to the Russian girl. So I sat down next to this girl, and me and Christopher was talking how we should get some footage from a Tinder date, because in the live stream, the whole purpose with shooting was to create a trailer, so I could put up a trailer here on my YouTube channel to show what I'm all about, what I do in my channel, personal growth and all that. And since I have a lot of focus on like girls, wanting to meet a girl, I said, hey, we should get some like footage where it looks like I'm having a date. Should I ask this girl sitting here? I'm kind of whispering to Christopher because she's sitting like 1 meter next to me. Like, and I'm kind of in the funny mood, hanging out with my best friend, just having a blast. And I don't feel much hesitation, so I'm gonna ask her. She's really cute. I'm like, what do I've got to lose? So I lean over and I ask, hey, where you from? Do you speak Swedish? And turns out she doesn't. She's actually a Russian girl named Anna. And not making the story dragged out because we have a lot of things to go through. This ends up with me moving over to her table, starting out as a kind of fake date. I asked if my friend could film it, and she was laughing. She was having fun with it. I was having fun with it, but it kind of ended up being a real date because I was just so captivated by her looks and her smile and what she said. She was just a super nice girl. So in my head, this played out as a real date, and we had a blast, and I got it all on the movie. And what happened next, I will actually tell you after I've gone through my stuff here. So we got some juicy parts to the end of this stream, but the story doesn't end there. Let's just say that. Yeah. I'm walking on clouds right now. So with that being said, let's move on to the next part of this stream. The actual finding my why. So the deal was to kind of define my why this week. This was a challenge I put up to you too, to sit down and work through our life, kind of to find a statement that put who we are in words. a why statement is something that Simon Sinek, this famous author, has kind of made popular by some TED Talks and through the books he has written, and it's a great tool to canalize down to, when you say, squeeze out the essence of who you are down to a short little statement that should be outed in one sentence. It started with your contribution and how that leads to impact in the world. For instance, I can just let you know the why statement for this author, Simon Sinek. Let me just put that page up. I'm gonna try not to lose you here. Why? Where's the why statement? I should try to find things without preparing properly. Okay, so let me just find you here. The why statement should look like this. Here you got it. To that, so that. Impact. So for Simon Sinek, his why statement is to inspire people to do the things that inspire them, so that together we can change the world. His contribution and how that impacts everything. And this is not something you come up with very easy. This is something that you look at your life and the moments you have lived through, the defining moments of who you are. You have a flashback look at your life. You sit down and you go through these stories that really stood out to you, that really meant something to you, and you put these out. You're supposed to do this with a friend. You're supposed to share these stories, and then you're together, or your friend are supposed to find recurrent themes that speaks for who you are and what you're all about. When you come alive, what really makes you feel fulfilled and happy, and that is what I'm doing. I'm not there yet. I've been going through the week and I've been thinking about this. I've been thinking about stories that has defined my life. I've been reading the book that this is all based upon, and it's quite a mouthful, and it was a bit naive to think that I could do this in a few hours. So I'm actually, after this stream, gonna sit down and finalize this little project. But it also is important to say, you're not gonna find those perfect words at once. You're gonna be able to see the recurrent pattern, the theme, and then you will find words, but you will play around with them, you will iterate, and you will gradually find something that really speaks to you, because it's very personal. It's something that really should come from within. You should really connect with the words that this why statement stands for. And I mean, it's nothing brand new. I've been playing around with this for maybe a year when I first heard about this, so I do have some vague idea of how it is and what I'm all about. And just to put it out there, kind of is to inspire, and this is something that come off as cliche to people, but it doesn't really matter if it speaks to you, because that's what this is all about. Find something that speaks, that kind of defines what you're all about. And with that being said, it's the purpose of having that is to just make the decisions you take in life so much easier. It's supposed to be your guiding compass in life. Am I supposed to go in this direction, or am I supposed to go in that direction? If you know what you want out of life, if you know what really brings you fulfillment, then those two paths, it will be easy to make that choice, because you have that framework for how you want to live your life. And this path, they may be similar, but you can feel that, yeah, this one truly aligns with what I'm all about. So the choice is easy. This is the direction I want to go in. And you can apply this on a micro level or on a macro level. The action I'm taking here, is this taking me towards this path I want to go on, or is it not? If not, I'm not going to do it. It's easy for you to choose career, to choose your daily actions. It's easy to make all these hard decisions, and I'm of course, I'm perhaps doing it. It's not super easy, okay? But it's gonna be much easier because you have this framework for how to make decisions. So that's what the whole thing is all about. That's why it's such a powerful thing to go through this process, and that's when the choices in your life becomes easy. And that's what I've experienced as I started to play around with this during this year. Some of the decisions I've made this year has been as a result of having a vague idea of my purpose. Like this autumn, when I had a conversation with my boss about changing my role in my work, starting to do some marketing for my company, because that's something I really wanted to do. It aligned more with my why than only being a mechanical engineer. I like that part for being creative and being able to work in teams with people, but being creative in this other way of the marketing role, that spoke more to me. So I had a tough conversation with my boss, and I said I want to do this, and we found a middle ground, and now I'm doing both these parts. So that's just the result of how clarifying your why statement can actually change something in your life. And I can myself testify to this being very powerful. And the book is very good. There's a lot of videos by Simon Sinek. He's the co-author of this book. He wrote the first book, Start With Why, which is all about this golden circle. Maybe I should have started explaining this. This is the whole concept and what it's based off. It's actually the why part is in the middle, then we get the how and the what, and it's actually a representation of how our brain works from a top level approach. You see our limbic brain is in the middle, and that's actually the part of the brain that is responsible for the decision making process. And when we make decisions, we base this on the why reason. It's not the what. Like if you want to buy a car and you look at the specs of the car, the engine, the mileage and stuff like that, that's the what part. But what actually makes us go for the decision is the why part. And Simon Sinek always do the Apple example on this. We buy Apple. Some of us buy Apple products because we believe in their cause. We may believe in Steve Jobs or what it stands for, or how it makes it's a statement for who I am as a person if I use an Apple product. And that's all related to the why, and that's how we want to communicate our purpose when we speak with people. When they ask what we do, it should be about the why. It shouldn't be about the what. When you choose career, when you go after a job, it should be all about the why. If you only do it for the what, the money, the status, it's gonna leave you empty in the end. It's not what truly makes you feel fulfilled. I put some links down there. 1 hour long webinar with the authors that has written this book, and also some TED Talks. I'm not going to go more into the details of that right now. It's just, as I said, it's an individual process, and I'm all in it right now, and it's just super powerful. And looking back at those defining memories of your life, it's kind of powerful too, and makes you realize what the heck you are all about. And I can just share one of those stories of mine that really has affected me. Is when I decided one day when I was in the military to on my lunch break or whatever it was, I went to the library and I decided I needed to help my sister because she felt really bad. She still feels really bad. And I went to the library and I just grabbed all the books I could help could find in the library on self-help, how to deal with anxiety, to live happy. And I mean, it was just a big pile of books, and felt really weird, but it was a statement for like, I need to help my sister, I need to understand our brain, how we're supposed to live, what life is all about. And that is kind of when my true personal development journey started, when I focused in on taking a serious approach to understanding life and how we should live to be happy. And that was 10 years ago, and that story, it spoke to me and it defined me as a person. It just makes me all emotional thinking about that. And it's those kinds of stories that are supposed to be looked at and then juiced down to a statement that you could stand for. So that's what I've been all about. It's an intense journey, and I'm going to continue that after this stream. And I see that we have my dearest friend Christopher Mandela with us. Hello, Christopher. He was here during the weekend. We celebrated New Year's together. He actually was the one filming the Russian date I had. Perhaps I should finish that story now. Yeah, I can do that. I can show you some footage from this date I had. So as I said, if you just joined in, we went to a coffee place on New Year's Sunday, and next to us, we were out filming some material for a trailer we want to do. And next to us, a girl was sitting. She was cute, and I asked, "Hey, should I ask her so we can perhaps set up a date so it looks like we have some material for the trailer?" And I asked her, and she was willing to do that. And we started filming, and Christopher was the guy filming. And I'm going to show you the material now. And I really, as I said in the beginning, it turned out to be more like a real date to me. I was so into her eyes and her laughter, and she was just amazing. I'm not able to do two things at the same time, and I'm looking for the video right now. But if you just hold on for a sec, I can show you this beautiful, beautiful girl. And I'll also tell you what happened after our date, because it didn't end there. I spent the whole day after thinking about her and the laughters we had, the connection we made. Oh, here it is. And well, so this is what went on. This is the coffee place we were at. We were sitting here, and she was sitting just next to us, and I bent over and I asked her if we could set up a date. This is Anna, and this is her friend Vicky. Two amazing Russian girls, super funny, both of them, and just had a blast. So we actually shot this for 20 minutes. Yes, it makes me all tingly just thinking about it. Anyways, so that was what happened. And then I asked her, since she was a yoga teacher, I asked if we could perhaps have a yoga session together. And she agreed to that. And that happened yesterday, like two and a half hours of yoga with this amazing girl. And I realized that she was so much more than just a beautiful yoga teacher. She had a depth that I could relate to. We kind of had why statements that aligned. She was all about helping people. She found her purpose in her yoga teachings, and she also was a math teacher. And we just bonded deeply, and we spent the evening together doing yoga and talking. Yesterday, and she went home. No, the day before yesterday, and she went home yesterday actually. So that night was the last night where I met her. But I haven't felt that like in ages, and this is just I don't know. You don't care about my emotions. I'm just saying this is all a result of the personal development I've been doing, being able to to start a conversation with a random girl like that in a cafe, being relaxed about it, being able to show my true self, having fun, daring to say things I really think and feel, because that's what made me connect with this girl, to be myself and really express what I thought, and having fun with myself, enjoying the moment, self-amusement, daring to be funny in the way I think I'm funny. And I wasn't able to do that earlier because I was so up in my own head, not being relaxed enough to do that. And if you're not relaxed, if you're tense, you're just overanalyzing, you're thinking about what you are supposed to say and stuff like that. And you owe it to yourself to do this development so you can actually bring your best self to the world. Not always, but as often as you can. And spread some joy, god damn it. And that is what has happened as a result of my growth, and especially this Christmas calendar, my intensified December challenges for making that happen on a fundamental level, not caring what people think of me, living life the way I want to live, and doing one challenge every day, which I did in the Christmas calendar. It made me really desensitized to care what people think of me. I'm able to express myself now without having these thoughts of what other people think, and it's just amazing. And I think this is a direct result of that, and it makes it so clear that, yeah, the struggle was all worth it, and it's just all for the better. I'm released from the claws holding me down. I think you understand the point. I'm not gonna squeeze more out of this. But how did this end? Well, yeah, she went home to Moscow yesterday. I allow myself to be a bit emotional about it, feeling a little bit in love. I haven't felt things like this in ages, so I'm just gonna stay in that happy land for a while. Then maybe realizing that it's not gonna happen. But I did look at flight tickets yesterday because yeah, that's just how the place I am in right now. Besides that, also this week, I'm gonna leave that part right now, and I'm gonna address the last part of this video, which has been about applying New Year's goals. I talked about that. That was also part of the weekly challenge. I guess it was the focus of the last live stream I did. Putting out goals, we like to do that when the new year approach. We get so much momentum from having a clear break. It's like, oh, it's a new year. I can forget about the past, the shitty moments. I can just, boom, this is happening for real. My life is gonna start now. And we build up all these expectations, we put up like high goals, and I've always done that, but it hasn't kind of worked out so good in the past. In the beginning, you perhaps follow up on your goals and you're motivated, but then life happens and it's like you have so high expectations, so you can't live up to it. So, well, the input decreases, and eventually you just fade away. You just close it down because you feel a bit ashamed because you didn't go through with it. So then it's like, yeah, what the heck, I'm not even gonna look at it. But so my approach this year is instead to not be so hard on myself. I put up overreaching goals, but I then look at how I can create daily small little habits that will take me towards these goals. And the idea is to do this in 30 days clusters or monthly clusters. Like my goals, my habits I put up now, they are only going to last for 30 days. Then I'm going to reevaluate and see how they're working. But for January, I'm going to do them all in, and I'm going to make sure to try them out, because usually you kind of say that it takes 30 days to implement something. But the idea is that instead of focusing on some end metric, it's about the process. It's about doing something daily that changes who you are as a person, not having some end goal reward, like, yeah, it was 1,000 days of struggle for 1 day of reward. That's never gonna last. It's not durable. But if we're able to make a process implemented that changes our way of being, then we're on to something. That's something I've really come to realize more and more. Coming from a place always living in the past or in the future, not being so present here and now, always had lived that life. Now instead, I'm more and more are living for the day. I'm able to enjoy what's happening, and I'm able to realize that, yeah, there's a day tomorrow, and it's things I want to accomplish within a week, within a month, within a year. But there will be similar emotions those days. I won't be so much happier as I am right now. It's a matter of being here today and realizing that this is what I've got. This is how I'm supposed to live, and I need to enjoy the heck out of this moment. And this is hard to grasp, and it's hard to not make it sound cliche, but when you get it, you get it. And I think I've got it, and I appreciate my days every day so much, and I'm just thankful for being able to be at this place. And as I said, that doesn't mean I don't have goals, and it doesn't mean I'm working towards those goals, because that's also part of the journey. So just to like briefly get an idea of how this has been practically put into action in my life this week, I'm going to show you how I'm working with my habits. I don't know if you think this is just uninteresting or whatever, but this is how I implement my habits. And if you can hear a weird noise in the background, it's because my little brother is making tea, and the tea kettle is not a tea kettle, the water boiler is making a whole lot of noises. Anyways, as you perhaps know, I do all my what do you say, my planning in OneNote, Microsoft OneNote. It's my number one go-to tool to store my thoughts. I can't keep things in my head, then I would go mad. I use OneNote to structure my life, and it's just it's worth so much. And I'm just gonna address Christopher here. I've got guests here over now, so gotta pop out. Have a lovely day, my friend. Well, thank you for stopping by, and have a lovely day, you too. Back to the idea here. OneNote, how I structure my life. If I have a project, anything I do in OneNote. I keep my journal here. I journal throughout the day. I plan my schedules, put up my lists. It all is happening here, and it's just wonderful. I love it. But so my habits. I track my day. Here I've put out all my different habits. I have them divided into my 7 life areas. We got social life, health and well-being, financial, business, career, fun things, social, did I say that? Spirituality. I think we're up to 7. So, and I have at least one new habit in each of these areas. And the key is to start small, and the key is to have a cue when the habit is implemented. For instance, if you have read my blog posts, I've shared a whole lot of my eating issues. So I'm trying to address my eating patterns, how I do that. And this first, usually I go like all in on excluding everything, and I'm super strict, but then it falls apart and I fail. So instead, this time I'm working on implementing deep motivation, understanding a deep motivation for what it's costing me to have this bad relationship to food. So one of my eating tracking habits is that every time I eat, I write up the time I start eating, and then I end up and then I stop with when I stop eating. That makes sense? I write up when I stop eating. So I get the total accumulated daytime for how much time I spend on eating. Like this Monday I did that, and that was like a stay at home dad day, because yeah, it was the day after New Year's Eve, and that ended up being 5 hours of time spent on eating and preparing food. And it's like 5 freaking hours. What the? It was like a aha moment to me, making it clear on how much time I spent on this. It's a waste. I mean, I love it, but I don't love it. I can't love it that much. I'm not allowed to. So now throughout the week I've been tracking my time, and I see that without putting out any rules or so, I can just limit the time as a result of just being deeply motivated for I don't want to spend all this time on eating. So that was just like the actual details on the habits, but this is how I track it, and this is how I track all my habits. And for instance, I also have a habit of standing. We have a standing desk, so I can stand every day, but it kind of hurts in some places. But I have a habit of doing that for 25 minutes daily, minimum. And when I do that, I put a star here, so I know that, yeah, now I've done my habit. And the goal is to have stars in all my boxes, so I do all of my habits throughout the whole day. And if I manage to do that, then it's a great success. Sometimes it doesn't always happen. I mean, I've only been at it for 4 days, but so that's the structure. And the idea of the habits is to start really small. Like I'm trying to implement the meditation practice, and I only have the requirement of doing it for 3 minutes daily. And 3 minutes of meditation, what the heck? That's like pointless. But I'm not doing it for 3 minutes. That's the result of it. That's the bare minimum. But if I can just convince myself, yeah, I don't know, I don't feel like I'm having time to do any meditation right now, but yeah, I only need to do it for 3 minutes. Then I can feel good about checking this thing off, and I've done my daily habit of meditating. But the thing is, if I actually sit down and do it, then I'm sitting down for more than 3 minutes. So it's about tricking yourself. Another habit I have is to do squats every time I go to the toilet, just like, ooh, knee squat. And that is actually a habit I implemented a year ago. And then I started with, I only need to do 1 squat every time I go to the toilet. And that has increased to 5 squats every time I go to the toilet. But most of the times I end up doing like 10 squats just because I'm at it. I might just as well do a few more. And that's the whole that's the whole idea of the habits I'm implementing. Starting really small, finding a cue when it's actually ignited, like the toilet squat. Every time I'm done at the toilet, yeah, now I need to do a squat. We have the cue. We have the routine of doing the squat, and then the reward comes. I feel good about it. I can mark it off as done. And I'm just, yeah, I'm a good person doing what I set out to do. And that's the idea. That's how I approach this. And so far, I'm off to a good start. When the January comes to an end, I will reevaluate, see how these habits are treating me, if they're actually taking me towards my goal, and if maybe I need to tweak them, change them, or if it's about time to implement a new habit. That's the idea, and I'm happy right now because it's working great. That was the third and last point I wanted to address in this live stream. It's been a great week. I also mentioned in the description, I don't know what's coming ahead for the channel, and I don't. I'm a bit lost on that still. I'm trying to work it out. I do have had some attention-stealing focus from my YouTube channel this week, because one of my habits I'm implementing is to do a daily blog post on my homepage. And I said, yeah, like, it will take 30 minutes tops. But it has actually ended up taking like 2 or 3 hours daily. And that's like all of the time I have in the end of the work day. So that's why I didn't came up with any video this week because the blogging just took so much time, and I'm kind of twisted here. I'm in two parts in what I feel about this. I realized it's a channel where I can express myself in a new way, and it's really, really nice actually to just write a daily blog post. I have so much thoughts I want to share, but it's also stealing the attention of the channel, which I also really love. So I know I can't spend all that time on doing blog posts, but I got so much out of it this week, and I think you should read it if you want the details on my week. And I shared some really exposing thoughts on my relationship to food and whatnot, and it's also a way for me to practice not caring what people think of me, or to practice caring what I think of how I want to live my life, and then putting that into the world through action. And it's been an interesting week. It's been an intense week. So much has happened. I recommend you to read the blog posts, plural, links down there. And I'm not sure about the coming week. I think it will be focused on the habit implementation. There's a great YouTube guide I want to see. I started to watch it. Maybe I will be talking about that in the Sunday video, stating the weekly challenge. But for now, for this live stream, we are super duper done. I am hence raising my cup of tea. This is tea time with Alex. I forgot to mention that. Dirty chai tea. I'm actually doing black tea today, having an intense workout later, and then those days I tend to allow myself to do the black tea. Otherwise, I'm all about the green tea. Go totally off topic here. Those words are gonna finalize this little stream. I thank you for watching if you actually did, and I wish you a great weekend, and hope I inspired you to think about your life and how you can tweak it to make some things happen that aren't currently happening. My name is Alexander Nilsson. I thank you for watching, and I wish you a great weekend, which I've already said. And I will see you in the next video, hopefully, or in my blog. Bye, guys. And now comes the awkward moment when I have to press stop, when I've already said bye, guys, but it feels weird to not continue talking because it takes time.